Max Verstappen held off Carlos Sainz in a thrilling battle to claim the first Canadian Grand Prix victory in his career in an action-packed race in Montreal. A late safety car which followed two early virtual interruptions at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve set up a gripping finale, but Verstappen superbly defended the Ferrari as Sainz, despite having older tyres on Red Bull to extend his World Championship lead 46 points. Lewis Hamilton managed to find some pace in a Mercedes as he described it undrivable on Friday to claim the first podium since the opening race of the season, while his teammate George Russell followed him fourth to maintain his status as the only driver to finish in the points in every race this season, not only that in the top five. Having been forced to start from the back row of the grid after taking new power unit for the race, Charles Leclerc recovered to finish fifth in the other Ferrari, while Sergio Perez, hopes of challenging his Red Bull teammate for the World Championship, suffered a major blow with an energy gearbox failure, ending a terrible weekend for the Mexicans after he crashed out qualifying on Saturday. While Verstappen was already likely to extend his championship lead, with his nearest rivals starting so far down the grid, his maturity and composure in denying Sainz a maiden F1 victory was an ominous showing in terms of his rapidly strengthening title defence. It was really exciting at the end, Verstappen said. I was giving it everything I had, and of course Carlos was doing the same. I could see he was pushing and changing, but when you're out on the DRS, it's a lot easier to charge. The last few laps were a lot of fun. The 24-year-old Dutchman, who was driving in his 150th Grand Prix, has now won 6 of 9 races this season, with 2 early season reliability retirements now seeming a distant memory. Ferrari, aided by Sainz scoring an extra point for fast lap of the race, were at least able to narrowly reduce Red Bull's advantage in the Constructors' Championship to 76 points. Fernando Alonso, who started after a throwback performance in Saturday's wet qualifying, finished 7th, a place behind teammate Esteban Ocon after Alpine made a strange strategy call not to delay pitting the Spaniard. Valtteri Bottas was 8th for Alfa Romeo, while his teammate rookie Zhou Guanyu claimed his highest F1 finish in 9th, with Aston Martin rounding out the top 10 at his home race with Lance Stroll. With Saturday's wet qualifying and Leclerc's engine issues having set up a topsy-turvy grid, there was guaranteed to be constant intrigue as F1 returned to Canada for the first time since 2019. Despite having promised he would overtake Verstappen in the first corner, it was Alonso who came under early pressure as Sainz passed him on lap 3, setting up what would become a racing duel between Red Bull and Ferrari. How far Perez, who started 13th, could advance was one of the major questions going into the race, but his hopes were dashed on that line as he was forced to stop with a gearbox issue triggering a VSC. Verstappen then opted to pit for hard tyres from the lead, as did Hamilton from 4th, but it quickly became clear that those completed the 60 remaining laps on those sets would be highly unlikely. The next race came on lap 90 as Mick Schumacher, who had started 6th for Haas after a career best qualifying performance, suffered an engine failure that caused him to stop in the exact same spot as Perez had, causing another virtual safety car period. This time Sainz pitted from the lead, while Russell, who had impressively jumped from 8th to 5th in the opening laps, also made his first stops. Alonso and Leclerc notably both stayed out as they both attempted to hold track positions and were both ultimately left to make their only starts of the race outside of the safety car periods. Leclerc paid a particularly high price as slow start saw him come out and behind the DRS train and midfield cars, all but ending his hopes of catching the Mercedes cars. Verstappen, who emerged with a 10-second lead over Sainz, soon began to complain as the loss of grip and gave up on a one-shot strategy as he pitted once more in lap 43, handing the lead back to the Spaniard. While Verstappen was closing, Sainz was desperate for another opportunity to change his tyres, and it came when Yuki Tsunoda crashed at turn 2, this time bringing out a full safety car as he stuck in the barrier. Sainz persevered but was able to close right up to Verstappen as the field bunched up for a thrilling 15-lap finale. Long DRS zone on the home straight repeatedly enabled Sainz to close on Verstappen, but the Ferrari could not get close enough to make a genuine attempt at a pass. His teammate Leclerc was able to take the advantage on the final interruption as he closed on both Alpines and passed to see a solid recovery effort, with leading 49 points behind Verstappen in the World Championship and 3 back from Perez in second. However, Ferrari remained winless since Leclerc triumphed at 2 of the opening 3 races of the season, with Red Bull now winning 6 consecutive races. I was pushing flat out, Sainz said. I wasn't leaving any inches towards the braking, and I was pushing everything with the battery. I tried to pass Lance. The positive thing is that we were quicker, faster race, and just needed that little bit more to overtake around here. Hamilton's third place capped a remarkable turnaround after he was left despondent on Friday evening after a disappointing practice showing, with Mercedes having already suffered what could prove to be a major blow on Thursday as the FIA issued a technical directive to assess excessive bouncing, which is more likely to help than hinder their performance. Friday's lack of pace appeared to push the team to new lows. Hamilton described the car as a disaster, while team principal Toto Wolff and chief technical officer James Allison also offered little possibility about their prospects for the remainder of the season, that seeing them unable to compete with Red Bull from Ferrari under the sport's new design regulations. However, the absence of Perez and Leclerc from the front leg enabled Hamilton to qualify 4th in the rain on Saturday, and given Friday's comments, his race pace was remarkably strong and he remained in touch with Verstappen and Sainz through the race, albeit aided by safety cars. Hamilton said it's quite overwhelming to get this third place. It's been such a battle this year with the car, but we can continue to stay vigilant, focused and never giving up, and that's something I'm proud of. We're getting closer, so we've just got to keep pushing and keep pushing, and hopefully we'll eventually be in the fight with these guys. With many expecting the nature of the track in the next round of the season at Silverstone to suit Mercedes' troublesome W13, the display will offer Hamilton's loyal legions of fans renewed hope for the British Grand Prix. But yeah, after a 2-week break, the 2022 season returns for a summer run of European races, starting with the British Grand Prix at Silverstone from July the 1st and July the 3rd. And yeah, it's always one of everyone's favourite races of the season, I think. And yeah, I can't wait for it. What weekend that's going to be. Could we have 6 cars in contention for the win? But before I go, there's finally just running through the classification for the race, and Max Verstappen obviously coming out on top, and yeah, another brilliant performance for him. Ice cold at the end to maintain the lead under pressure from Carlos Sainz, and yeah, he looks like he's going to run the way with the championship now. Sainz, yeah, I don't know if he's going to be disappointed or happy with that, because maybe he felt like he could have got the win, but you know, his pace was solid this weekend. I think he'll be happy to challenge Max. Hopefully that wins for coming for him soon. Hamilton in third, yeah, really turned it on this weekend, back to his best after a few tough races, you'd probably say, back on the podium, fully deserved, and his pace towards the end, and Russell definitely pulling away from him. Really good stuff. But yeah, Russell in 4th, continuing his run in the top 5, behind Hamilton this time, but you know, still solid points for Mercedes, and considering where that car is, the amount of points they're picking up is astonishing at the moment. Leclerc in 5th, obviously had a few frustrating moments in the race, but on the whole, I think he'll be very, very happy with that. And then you've got Ocon in 6th, Alonso in 7th. Alonso obviously not happy, starting from 7th, but you know, it's still not a disastrous day for Alpine. Ocon 6th will be very happy. They're just within a few points now of McLaren, so yeah, they'll be happy with that. Bottas and Zhou in 9th. Yeah, Zhou probably the one getting unlucky again there, but you know, still picked up points, so they'll be very pleased with that. And yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they've probably definitely taken that before the start of the day. And then you've got Stroll in 10th, picking up points for Aston Martin from where qualified. I think he'll be happy with that. Ricciardo, yeah, just not his day, just didn't seem to have the pace today. Kind of a similar story with Vettel, so yeah, I think they'll be disappointed. Albon and Gasly once again down there. Yeah, 2 teams that didn't have the pace. Lando Norris, he just had a disastrous day, obviously running slightly down the power with that engine issue from qualifying, and then that pit stop, I don't know what the hell was going on there, but that was really bad. Latifi kind of just having a Latifi 22 race weekend, really nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Magnussen in 17th. For me, I mean, like, on that first lap, it's just an over ambitious move from Hamilton that ruined his race in the end. Really disappointing and potentially cost Haas some points there, so really not great from him, to be honest. Sonoda, another one, I don't know if that's a technical issue, but if it wasn't, yeah, that's a really bad error from Sonoda, and kind of the error that we had seen last year, kind of the ones that you'd hoped he'd cut out by that point, but yeah, clearly not the case. Mick Schumacher, yeah, once again, just so unlucky. Surely you would have been on for points without that reliability issue. It'll come, but yeah, it must just be so frustrating for him. And Sergio Perez, gutted for him. I think he could have challenged the Mercedes for the podium there. And yeah, he'll be gutted because it puts him a massive distance behind Max in the championship now. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, brain shots, comments down below, follow and to the description for daily F1 news, and subscribe to my channel, subscribe, and I'll be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.